All right, folks, it's Jeremy with the Sprawl,
Asad?
and we are here on Election Day outside Calgary City Hall, outside of this Grand Lion here.
Poetically, that's what my name means in Arabic. It means lion.
I didn't know that, or I should just take credit for planning this. So here we are. My question for you, Asad, is how are you still standing at this point?
I've been having like a shawarma a day, so I think that's really helped, and coffee, just like a whole lot of coffee. More on that to follow.
Lots of coffee in these recent days. So here we are. It's about, what time is it? It's 4 p.m. right now, and we're hearing quite a lot about voting delays. Have you been hearing about this?
I have been hearing about this, and someone asked me if it was you who told me about it, and I said no, it wasn't just Jeremy. I've heard about this from other folks as well, that it's just taking a while to be able to vote. Do you have any idea why?
Yes. So what I had happen, my wife and I went to vote today just shortly after noon. There wasn't a long line, so we thought, hey, we're laughing here. But the line basically wasn't moving at all, and then was moving excruciatingly slowly. And we figured out once we got in, we were seeing that it's taking between 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes for each voter to be processed. In other words, they get to the table, the election worker takes their ID and goes through this whole process that takes up to 3 minutes, a long time. And the issue is a new provincial requirement that is Form 13. So this is a form that you need to sign if you're going to vote for trustee. So even if you're on the voting register, they cross your name out, you still have to fill out this form if you're voting for a trustee. So that's what's taken so long.
Right, and we've gone to technical briefings with the elections office. We had another sort of rundown that I attended. So we did call their media line, very responsive, thanks to them, and they let us know that I forget what I texted you, that it isn't.
Well, they're saying most are doing okay. Most stations are.
That's right, and also that this is the largest engagement that the city runs, so everything is it is still on track. It's not unusual. So if you haven't gone out to vote yet, don't be deterred by this.
Yeah, go vote. But it is taking a long time, and there are long waits. Actually, I just saw, because I posted some notes on Instagram about my own voting experience taking so long. One of the candidates in Ward 7, Heather McRae, commented that this verges on voter suppression, that the province has put in these new requirements that basically make it take longer to vote. So we'll have to see how this all shakes out, if there's still long lines when the polls close. Elections Calgary reminding people, even if you're in line at 8 p.m. when the polls close, you can still vote. But yeah, it's moving slowly at a lot of places.
The only other thing I would add is, they are going to prioritize, to the best of my understanding, mayoral results for tonight, and then the ward results will roll in tomorrow. So, in case you're curious about that, that is the latest I heard from the vote counting crew, that mayoral results today and ward results tomorrow.
Yeah, ward results are going to be slow, in part because of the advance vote and when they count those. So they're going to open all the advance ballots stay locked and sealed until 7:30 tonight, at which point they start counting those, and they'll count mayoral first, and then they bust open the councillor votes, advance votes, for tomorrow. So this is going to be interesting. It might be a bit of a long process.
And absolutely, and there are labor laws and what have you in terms of like why the count won't continue overnight. My question for you, Jeremy, maybe it's a two-parter, and I hate two-parter questions. It's like, one, how are you still standing? B, is it time to party yet?
Yes. So number one, how am I still standing? Because this is so much fun. Doing this with you has been so much fun. So that's why I'm still standing, because it's just been a fun few weeks running around doing these ward forums. And as to whether it's time to party, the answer is absolutely yes. And so my question for you is, what does that look like?
So at 7 p.m. we will be at Dandy Brewing and Pizza. And you know what they say, you got to fight for your right to party, but sometimes you just got to party for your right to party. And it'll be a pretty low key, like we'll have fun. We're excited to meet some of you, whoever shows up. And so many of you have been so kind and generous in terms of, just being grateful for the work we've done. And also, as I was reminding Jeremy, the work he's done for coming up on 8 years now. So, yeah, it's been really fun. You've all been very kind and generous. If some of you would like to be more generous, you're welcome to do that. And, we'll see you this evening, 7 p.m. at Dandy Brewing.
Yeah, and because results won't be coming in immediately, and because there is a Game 7 of the American League Championship Series, we're going to see if we can rig that up and watch the baseball game to start, and then switch over to election, and then we'll see what we can see. But yeah, as Asad said, it's been awesome having just the encouraging comments from so many people, just that that you've appreciated in particular the debates. I don't know what, to me that's what stands out, those comments when people are like, I didn't know who to vote for, and watching this helped me make my decision.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I think so much of the job of journalists and journalism organizations is to demystify the process. And, voting is a big part. It's not the only part of how a democracy functions, but it is a big canary in the coal mine. It's a big bell. It's a big litmus test. So I feel very glad. And, because if we hadn't covered the wards, I don't think they would have been covered, period.
Yeah, a lot of those places we went to, and we're the only journalists in the room, where it's like anything could happen here and it just won't get documented. And so being able to be there and be like, hey, we're going to document this, I think was just very useful for people. And that's what we heard repeatedly.
Yeah, you could almost say that we are award-winning 14 times over.
Yeah. 14 wards in Calgary. We are 14 times award winners.
Space ward.
Yeah, for going out to all these wards.
Now, you and I could keep doing this, but I think we both have a nap scheduled before the election party.
Yeah, we gotta get to things. So thank you everybody for watching. If you valued the Sprawl's election coverage, make sure to support the Sprawl so that we can keep digging into municipal issues after today. This is just one element of what the Sprawl does, and we're going to keep digging into municipal issues. So sprawlcalgary.com to contribute, and thanks for making this so fun.
Yeah, thank you all so much. What a great way to get to know this city that I arrived to 15 years ago and didn't live in until a few weeks ago.
And you got baptized by fire, as it were.
Yeah, fire and flood. Actually, the first time I was here was the Alberta floods, so it's sort of fire and flood. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody.